This is Pear Shaped in Dystopia. Every Wednesday night at 8:30. Yes, it's Pear Shaped, and we hope y'all come to see us and don't be late. Yes, it's Pear Shaped. It's just a favour to come in, and we hope that you'll be coming back again to Pear Shaped in Dystopia. Every Wednesday night at 8:30.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode bleeding 6. Episode bleeding 6 of Pear Shaped in bleeding Dystopia. Who would have thought? Episode 6. Who would have thought such a thing could happen? I mean, we didn't expect Donald Trump to last that long, but we didn't expect to be here this long. And we're not leaving now. We're staying here whether you like it or not. Even if episode 7 comes along, it can fuck off. We're here. We're going to be episode 6 forever. There we go. That's my little rant. This is my little lady. My little lady, isn't you? My little lady.
No.
Hey?
No.
My glamorous assistant. You're
Yeah,
my glamorous assistant. And she makes it.
Fucking lady. Jesus.
She's no fucking lady. She's my glamorous assistant. G.A. And not only that, she's also head of technical shit and all that stuff. So everything that goes wrong on this episode is her fault. Right? It's nothing to do with me. I've trained her. I've done everything for you, haven't I? I've given you little training sessions like turn it on, turn it off. That's it. Right, left. I've worked me bollocks to the bone, and I'm sick of it, to be honest with
Why
you.
have you got a bone in your bollocks?
Because I've been working so hard.
Oh.
That's what happens when you work hard. That is what happens. You wouldn't understand because you're only a woman.
Yeah.
So, and there's no need to be so sexist. So anyway, episode 6, unbelievable, and all of them have been a shambles except the last one. The last one was less of a shambles, but it took a whole week to edit it. So, and it was the one that went the best. It took a whole week, so I've only just recovered from it, and here we are going through the whole thing again.
I
So
think that says more about your editing skills than the show.
well, possibly, but if you have a look at the one that I didn't edit and the one that I did edit, you will see that there's quite a difference. Usually about that much. So,
Do you know, Brian,
what?
that this is about 20 years since we were recording our first album together.
Our first album, Silly Songs.
Silly Songs.
Brian and Krysstal. Silly Songs.
We recorded it around this time 20 years ago.
Yeah, and we're about to re-release it, and we're now thinking of it as our difficult second album. Right? It was difficult as the first album, but it's going to be even more difficult this time because nobody's going to want it. So, but we have got some songs.
Yeah, we thought we'd do some retro songs.
I've got no idea what the keys were, but we'll let's try this one. No, that won't. That's too high. See? I bought myself a coffin with the coupons that I've saved, and I got myself a lovely plot of ground.
Plot of ground.
If I could smoke another million fags before I'm in my grave, I'll have little golden ashtrays all around.
All around.
I've ordered 6 white horses to take me through the town. I've even got a smoke machine for when they lower me down.
They lower him down.
I'm smoking like a bastard now so I can bury me wife, 'cause you have to have some pleasure out of life. You have to have some pleasure, you have to have some pleasure, you have to have some pleasure out of life. I'm smoking like a chimney pot so I can bury me wife, 'cause you have to have some pleasure out of life. Now, I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 4 or 5, and it's never done me any harm at all.
Harm at all.
I've got a lovely little lung machine that's keeping me alive, and a pair of crutches propped up in the hole.
In the hall.
I'm saving up my coupons with me next door neighbour Jim. He's always there to lend a hand whenever I need a limb. I'm smoking like a bastard now so I can bury me wife, 'cause you have to have some pleasure out of life. Yes, you have to have some pleasure out of life. Oh, it was so sad. It was sad.
Want a fag?
Yeah, I'm on a fag now.
I don't smoke.
Years ago, when I was playing in pubs, all the old boys, like in the parade, they'd all go out, they'd all stand at the door. And then when they stopped you couldn't smoke inside. The fucking government, the fucking government. And I said, look, there's one way of looking at this. They're trying to help you. And I said, you know now, you are not going to die of cancer. You are not going to die of... You're going to die of fucking pneumonia. And that made them feel better. Yeah, there we go.
It's time for the first act, isn't it? Time for the first
It
act.
is. It's definitely time for the first act. And after that fantastic song that you've just heard, I reckon what you need now is a bit of music.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Al. Thanks, Al. You can stop now. Thank you.
Oh, you're not going to say his name?
Yeah, because his name is White. Thank you.
What use is not sitting alone in your room? Who needs outside anyway? Life is a lockdown with no chums. Come now and isolate. Pick up the drinking, Netflix and cocaine. Block out the outside world. Who needs to see sunlight ever again? Come now and isolate. Keep forgetting my job. Keep talking to the hob. Yesterday life was almost exciting when I had to change some bathroom lighting. I've done too much baking and knitted a shed. And my cat is imaginary but I still feel it. Life is a lockdown with no chums. Come now and isolate.
Anthony can't be here today because he's a very busy person. We can't all be where we want to be. I want to be in the White House, but I'm not. There's never been anything like it. There's never been anything like it. I'd like to be at my Senate trial, but I can't. I can't because I'm at Anthony's flat. He's worried about burglars, as am I, as we all are. So that's why I'm here. I'm here to stop the steal. To stop the steal. People say I'm not a good person. I'm not a good person, but I ran lots of hotels and I'm a good interior designer. And I think we can all see the curtains here are awful. I would not allow these curtains in the White House or one of my hotels. I think if we look, we can see a bad pattern that repeats itself. I think this window would be better as a wall. A wall would match the wall. A wall would improve the wall. Later, I'll be building a wall. So, thank you for watching Pear Shaped, the only place that'll book me now. And not fake comedy, where they're laughing at us. And it's not funny. And now, the next act.
Hello, I'm Dickie Richards. Now, times are tough at the moment, times are tough. A friend of mine started a bondage business. He's struggling. I was in a taxi the other day and I said, how's business? And the guy said, oh, it's picking up. And it's dropping off. Now, a friend of mine who lost his job is very excited because he's got himself another job and he's going to start on Monday. He's got himself a job in a jigsaw puzzle factory. Now, he told me that what he's going to be doing is his job is going to be to count the number of pieces in each jigsaw puzzle to make sure it's correct. Now, he reckons it's going to be easy, but I think he's going to have his work cut out for him. So what does it matter, though, really? What does it matter if times are tough? What does it matter if the economy's up the spout? What does it matter really if we're in a pandemic? It doesn't really matter at all, does it? Because, you see, our lives on a cosmic scale are insignificant, aren't they? Absolutely insignificant. Now, I'm going to make an assumption. I'll make an assumption that all of you out there love Cox. Yeah, Professor Brian Cox. Yeah, so I love Professor Brian Cox, and I was watching a documentary by him, and this is what he reckons, right? So this must be true. Professor Brian Cox reckons this. He reckons that we live on one of an infinite number of parallel universes. Yeah, and because there's an infinite number, it means that every single combination of universe that you can think of or imagine actually exists right now. Right? So it's true that there's a universe out there which is exactly the same as ours in every single detail. Everything exists exactly the same as it does on this one, and everything happens at the same time as it happens here. So you and I exist on this parallel universe, and we're doing exactly the same thing as we're doing now. I'm speaking to you and you're watching me. Now, the only difference in this parallel universe is that one of us has a horse's head. Now, I don't know which one of us has a horse's head, but all day I've had a fierce hankering for a sugar lump. Now, I came late to comedy, but they say, don't they? I always wanted to do it, but they say, don't they? Seize the day. That's what people say. Seize the day. Life is short. Follow your dreams. You know, but I certainly didn't. I was working a boring job, you know, in the rat race, paying my bills, boring job. And it really, I was getting depressed in my life. Didn't really know where I was going. And I knew I'd reached rock bottom when I found myself having sex with a rotten fish. I was in a bad place. But then I had a life-changing experience, right, which made me stop what I was doing, which made me jack in my boring, 9-to-5 job, and made me pursue my change. It made me change my life. Maybe do this. And I was involved in quite a bad accident, and I broke my neck, and I had to have a titanium rod permanently screwed in to my neck. Yeah, life-changing. That was about 8 years ago, and I haven't looked back since. Now, the weather's getting cold, isn't it? We've got snow forecast this week, right? Snow forecast for this week. Now, do you remember the beast from the east? How cold was that a few years ago, right? Now, when that happened, right, I had to, one day I had to do a bit of running about. And I said to my mum, do you know what, Mum? I don't fancy going out tomorrow. It's going to be freezing cold. And my mum gave me some advice that perhaps your mums have given you. And my mum said to me, she said, son, if you want to stay warm on a cold day, the thing to do is wear lots of layers, right? Perhaps your mums have told you the same thing. So, because I'm a good boy, right, I followed my mum's advice, and the next day, before I went out, I put on lots of layers. And essentially what I did is I put on 2 of everything. I put on 2 pairs of socks, 2 pairs of pants, I put on 2 pairs of long johns, 2 pairs of jeans, I put on 2 vests, 2 t-shirts, 2 jumpers, 2 cardigans, I put on 2 jackets, I put on 2 pairs of gloves, I put on 2 hats, 2 scarves, I only put on 1 pair of shoes, because I'm not a horse. Anyway, and I went out, and my mum was right, my mum was right. It was a freezing cold day, but I was toasty warm. Then I was going about me, doing me bits and pieces. Anyway, about 11 o'clock that morning, my new girlfriend phoned me up, and she said, Dickie, I've taken the day off work. I'm at home, I'm in bed, I'm naked, I'm feeling really horny. Why don't you come over and spend a disgusting afternoon with me in bed? You can do anything you like to me, anything you want. Anyway, I said no. That's right, I turned her down. Well, I had a lot on that day. Good night, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dickie Richards. Comedy is so much better without all that laughing getting in the way, isn't it? But I mean, Dickie cheats anyway. He tells jokes. He comes out, he fucking tells jokes. I mean, it's not. Look, anybody can tell jokes. Watch this. Look. Here, I was a grant of an astronaut.
Did ya?
Not anymore. She said she needed space. See? Anyway, see, Al likes that. He likes that. See?
I don't know what you mean.
But what do I mean? I said, what do you mean you need space? She said, well, it's not fucking rocket science, is it? Yay! See, I could do it. Every time I go to Sainsbury's, the cashier tells me a joke. This afternoon, it was the best joke ever. A gag for life. Hey, fucking hell. Oh, See, Dickie, you and I should get together. I like this.
Did you?
Did you? What?
I don't know. You
No,
just
just-
keep saying, did you?
Yeah, but you're supposed to say "did you" when I say something.
Hey, do you know what this is?
What? What? A
That
finger.
there, that
It's a
there.
finger, isn't it?
That there,
Yeah.
just so you know, is a QR code that you can put on. You know, if you hold your phone up to it,
Oh,
it takes you to
Christ.
a donation site. Because I know some people just tune in to see their friends, and then they fuck off. So I've got to get it in early. You know, just donate whatever you like.
Yeah.
£2, £5, 20 quid, 200 quid,
A bit of bread.
anything just
bit
to
of
keep
bread
the
and
show
cheese.
going.
Bit of bread and
Yeah,
cheese.
no,
and a bit
that's
of
in the
change, isn't it?
bucket. That's if you've got a bucket. We haven't got
All
a
right,
bucket.
yeah,
We've got a
we haven't
QR
got a bucket.
code. Oh, we just
All right,
frozen.
we don't have a bucket.
No,
Who's
got,
frozen?
well,
Some-
we froze for
Who did
very
we?
briefly,
Oh,
but then we're back.
Well, it's cold, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
the boring bit out of the way.
Yeah. So now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Holland. Woo, 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 woo. David Mulholland.
In this week's eye-poppingly stupid things said by a government minister is vaccine minister Nadeem Zahawi. On Andrew Marr, he said that the government would not give vaccine passports because that would be discriminatory. Because that would allow people to discriminate against those who didn't have something, in this case a deadly disease. Conspiracy theories aside, that's the most un-Tory thing ever. I mean, seriously, the Tory brand is based on discriminating against people who don't have something, like money, or the right accent, or a total lack of compassion. So basically, Zahawi is saying it's perfectly fine to discriminate against French people for, being French, but it's not okay to discriminate against people who ignore all scientific evidence and want the freedom to spread a potentially lethal disease. I guess listening to experts is really off-brand for the Tories. Because right now, 68 countries are banning UK residents from visiting without proof of a vaccination. But, according to Zahawi, that's not discrimination. That's Tory empowerment. Then, doing to his argument what Rottweiler puppies do to sofa cushions, Zahawi went on to say that the government is looking at the technology to make vaccine passports. I have an idea for a technology, a piece of paper, a receipt, the technology mastered by minicabs and corner shops. Of course, the real problem with that is that you can't give your mates £100 million for paper receipts. Further doing to his argument what ferrets do to hamsters, Zahawi said, we still don't have a plan for a comprehensive quarantine system. Let's get the quarantine right and let's get the rollout right too first. But the quarantine system is supposed to start next week. But the government hasn't signed any contracts yet because Boris likes to do things at the very last minute so that Michael Gove can then criticize people for not being able to see into the future. You might ask what they're waiting for. I'm guessing a bribe. Campaign contribution, by which I mean bribe. The real problem is that hotel rooms can't be created out of thin air, unlike PPE or ferries. So, yeah, I'm cynical. This is the government that has inked 600 no-bid contracts worth about £11 billion, but has only released information on about 100 of those, about 15%. Of the ones that the government has let us see are such gems as £108 million for PPE to a pest control company with £19,000 in assets. In other words, a van. And the PPE didn't work. Another £108 million, again, £108 million to a sweets wholesaler for PPE that also didn't work. Another one was $252 million. £250 million, £252 million to a Mauritius registered tax avoidance company for PPE. That didn't work. These are the ones that the government has admitted to. What are the others? This is like a husband saying, "Oh, no. Look, honey, don't get upset. Look, there's nothing. I know the one trip I told you about. I spent the pension money on hookers and cocaine, but don't worry about my other 5 trips that I'm not going to tell you anything about. I assure you, none of the animals will press charges." And if you think the £11 billion on those contracts is the total grift, you're forgetting the £22 billion spent on Serco's test and trace debacle that doesn't work, but will steal your private information. So what's the punchline? Well, a poll just came out that asked, who do you trust more to handle the coronavirus crisis? And Boris beat Starmer by 15%. Seriously, how bad would Boris have to fuck up? The UK is only behind Belgium and Slovenia on the death rate, and the UK has 32 times as many deaths per million people as Japan. I know, people say, oh yeah, but the Japanese, they count deaths differently. And that's true. They count them in Japanese. But on the positive side, not even Brexit during a pandemic can stop Pear Shaped. Thank you very much. I'm David Mulholland.
Hey! Ladies and gentlemen, David Mulholland, bleeding marvellous. That was bleeding marvellous. And you didn't stoop like Dickie did. You didn't go around telling jokes and things, did you? Because you didn't have to. See, that's what we need on here, Dickie, is clever stuff. We need clever stuff. What we need now, I think, is a bit of our Mandolino, really, because he's sitting there and he's scratching his fucking armpit. Do you want to do something, Al?
I thought you had a pre-recorded piece.
Well, I have, but you are sitting there and you haven't been actually doing anything. You're just sitting there scratching yourself. Just play something, anything.
I've been contributing to the vibe.
Yeah.
General vibe.
Is that what it is? Yeah, Al. I'll change your mind, Al. We're going to play a pre-recorded bit. Come on. Ladies and gentlemen, that was El Mandolino. Beautiful music from El Mandolino. You have to put me on there now. And put yourself on there as well. That's it. Well done, El. That was great.
That was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was great.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it.
It's a good one, that one, isn't it? Yeah. Bit jazz.
But, yeah, very nice. And I fucking hate jazz. Hate it. Don't you? You hate it as well, don't you? Yeah, no, stop. We went to see the elephants at the Kruger National Park, the lions and the zebras, giraffe and the aardvark. The monkeys and the crocodiles, the eagles and the kites. We drove around, but all we found was a load of elephant shite. Oh, elephant shite, brown and green and yellow and white, smelly as well and black as night. Every kind of elephant shite. Rump-dump-dump-dump, rump-dump-dump. Nelly the elephant dropped a fart that blew her bottom to pieces. The neighbours said, "Now came along to complain." Bump, bump, bump. Ah, Nelly the elephant caused a stink by dropping her elephant feces all over the chap who came to complain. Dump, dump, dump. Rump, dump, 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 rump, dump, dump. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horse and all the king's men said, "Fuck him, he's not an elephant."
We crept around the water hill,
But things are pretty dry. The only sign of wildlife, my brand new wife and I. Just then we heard the awful sound and saw the terrible sight of the man who comes each day to dump his load of elephant shite. Oh, elephant shite, brown and green and yellow and white, smelly as hell and black as night. Every kind of elephant shite. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 2 mins of Pat and Matt.
Hi, Sean.
Catherine, hello. And a big shout out to the cheeky girls. Wrap up warm. Welcome, one and all, to 2 mins of Pat and Math. Question for you, Catherine. Do you want to be buried or cremated?
Goodness. Well, I definitely want to be dead first. Please make sure of that, because otherwise, it gets a bit witch hunty, doesn't it?
I mean, also neither of those are going to be fun if you're still alive. Really.
No, because I like a lie down as much as the next person.
Yeah.
But just, with a bit less earth on top of me.
Yeah, and a bit more air.
Yeah, I do really like air.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a big fan. How about you? What would you prefer?
I'm going to go, I think, what I'd like, if I may, I would like a sky burial.
How do they bury you in the sky?
Good question, if you're an idiot. It's from the mountains, and what they do, they leave you out, and the birds descend and pick you clean, and it's beautiful. But rather than wasting everyone's time going to the Himalayas, I would like that done on the Shard.
That would be more convenient for me to get to.
And me.
Yeah.
Or the restaurant of the Octo Tower.
Yeah.
Something to do.
Yeah, there are a lot of birds in there.
Yeah. And it's, it's a nice thing for the tourists. So I've given something back.
Oh, yeah. Smashing. I'm glad we've got that sorted.
Yeah.
Let's send this to our lawyers.
We must take action. Too many opportunities for our invisible enemy to break through again. And we all know what happened that time for Doctor Who in 1976. And numbers went up and up exponentially. And so we must take action. We must take action. If we don't look at the data, it doesn't look good. But we must remember that data goes up as well as down. We must do all we can to look at the statistics differently. If we look at it the other way around, then it's down as well as up. And we must do all we can to look at the statistics differently. There's the hope that the dream that if we can apply the same differential equation, we can make the numbers smaller. This could be a quadratic equation, and it could even be a differential. And if we look at the deaths, if we look at the deaths, then we can see more people die on particular days. More people die on particular days, and so our plan is to bring forth legislation so that some days will be shorter. So instead of having lockdown, we will have Mondays and Tuesdays being upside down Wednesdays, and the weekends will get longer because less people die at the weekend, and the weekdays will be shorter, and then we won't have lockdowns. We'll just have very long weekends, and here's the next act.
Oh, good evening, paupers. This COVID business, it's a bit of a drag, really, isn't it? I can't hire a private jet for love or money. As for this house arrest, I feel more like Julian Assange than Pablo Escobar. During the first lockdown, we managed to fly out to the Annapurna Courchevel in France. Although I call it the Courchevelaski, you know, it's full of Russian oligarchs. But they have wonderful champagne. So I thought, I'll ski my way through lockdown and drink the bar dry. But unfortunately, after the first night, they decided to close the slopes. So we had to leave. Which wasn't too much of an inconvenience. I mean, first class flights are only £2 a pop, so who cares? But what really annoys me, and I think this is what I wanted to talk about, is the way we're being treated by the French. You know, because honestly, had I known that they were going to be closing down my favourite resort, I would never have voted for Brexit. The other thing that concerns me is the economy. During the first pandemic, there was a stock market crash, and my husband Nigel lost 200 grand off some of his shares. Luckily, dead cat bounce, there was a bull market, and we were off to the races. Thank you, Boris. We love Boris, don't we? He's doing such a good job. I mean, all this quantitative easing, all this printing of money, it goes straight back into corporate bonds, and our stocks and shares portfolio has gone absolutely parabolic. So there's a lot of pluses. All this government grants. There's so much money coming into all our businesses, we don't really know what to do with it all. We're thinking of buying a new yacht. Furlough, that's a very odd concept, isn't it? I mean, furlough to me is really galloping through the plough, wind in my hair, enjoying a damn good hunt. There's hobbies we can get involved in, like reading, writing, cutting staff wages. It's not all good. There is a lot of misery. I'm very aware of that. It's not easy for everyone. I mean, I was speaking to my friend Daphne only this morning. She lives in Monaco and her husband's gone completely spare. You see, all this red tape around imports. They're down to their last bottle of Chateau Lafite. I don't know if you've seen the poster. Hands, face, space. Music to my ears. Every week I have a manicure, I have a facial, and I've just had Nigel negotiate on some more land. As for, what is it we have to do? Social distancing, that's it. I thoroughly approve. I've always believed that classes shouldn't mix. I mean, it was muddling up the species that caused this inconvenience in the first place. And what's the other? Oh, masks. We have to wear masks. I thoroughly approve of that. 90% of the population should definitely wear a mask all the time. They say gold's in at the moment. Everywhere I go, it's buy gold, buy gold. It's a wonderful hedge against inflation. and a fantastic opportunity to splash out on the new Trinity collection by Cartier. Little plug for a friend there. Okay, Miranda? The other good hedge against inflation is this new digital currency, Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. It's fantastic, isn't it? In fact, I'll have as many bits of coin as I can hack. If you feel you want the vaccine, and like me, it's your birthright to jump the queue, I suggest dressing up in a nurse's outfit and popping down to your local hospital around midday when all the nurses or the key workers are having their free jabs. There's not many of them around at that point, because that's the time they all go out for lunch with the food bank. I was speaking to a friend of mine in government recently. He said that now we've left the EU, it's a global opportunity, or a golden opportunity, I think he said, for London to become the new Singapore with lots and lots of tax breaks for the rich and lots of work opportunities for the poor. So my message is, if you're rich, stay rich, and if you're poor, hard luck. Nigel, drink. Shitbag.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Lady Harriet. Talking of going on holiday, we've been on holiday once or twice. One of them was in Torremolinos. We had some fun at the disco they run at the Hotel Torremolinos. We ain't got time for nagging, cause we're too busy shagging at the Hotel Torremolinos. We was pissed on the plane, we got pissed again at the Hotel Torremolinos. We ain't been fucking sober since the moment we came over to the Hotel Torremolinos. Spanish bit.
Tapas dancing, sitting down.
You should have seen the punch up when I went and brought me lunch up at the Hotel Torremolinos.
I told him it's not cool
To vomit in the pool at the Hotel Torremolinos. We sat and watched the swimmers do the breaststroke through me dinner at the Hotel Torremolinos. They all jumped in the showers and stayed in there for hours at the Hotel Torremolinos. Chorus, T-O-R-R-E-S-M Molinos. We go there every year, you must have seen us. We get pissed and then we flash some peanuts. We try to do the best we can, show that we are Englishmen, over here to represent our country and our countrymen. T-O-R-R-E-S fucking Molinos.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Right, so we've got another clip of...
We'd like to raise the tone, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah.
Like to raise the tone with a little bit of poetry from the anti-poet.
This is dedicated to all the bands out there who, like us, are fucking doing nothing.
Doing an intro. Oh, sorry. No, do carry on. It's called Dr. Gig. I'm feeling a little queasy, not my usual self today. I've had the headache since I woke up and it won't go away. I've got a twinge in my extremities, a pain all down on one side. I think I'm coming down with something, but what I can't decide. I've got a rash about me person, I'm sure that lump wasn't there before. Me genitals are swelling up and me pancreas is sore. But Dr. Gig is gonna help me. He knows just what I need is a stage, some lights and an audience to let my ego feed. Yes, Dr. Gig is gonna treat me. The symptoms and the cause. Endorphins will be thus released through laughter and applause.
Your laughter, your applause.
You see, it's all very well being arty, doing something that no one else does, but life isn't just one long party and dry adrenaline buzz. There's a downside to all this performing. I'm left feeling sullied and drained, in need of a fix more than ever. This problem is somewhat ingrained. I'm a junkie for grease paint and limelight. I'm hooked on the roar of the crowd. I'm empty and twitchy without it. It's an addiction of which I'm not proud. But Dr. Gig is gonna help me. I'll feel so much better on stage, where the real world can't affect me, coop me up in its corporate cage. Yes, Dr. Gig is gonna treat me. He'll make me all better again. He'll give me some punters to rant to. My safe place, my calling, my zen. Oh, Dr. Gig is gonna help me. He knows just what I need. It's a stage, some lights and an audience to let my ego feed. Oh, Dr. Gig is gonna treat me. The symptoms and the cause. Endorphins will be thus released through laughter and applause.
Your laughter, your applause. Please.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Lockdown. Lockdown, we've written some new pieces in Lockdown. This isn't one of the pieces that we've written in Lockdown. This is one of the pieces we have bastardised to make it look like it's a new piece written for Lockdown, because it was actually relatively relevant for Lockdown, wasn't it?
It was.
Yeah. Yes.
Come on.
This is called Personal Space. Get out of me face! And as far as I can reach from any one place. Have you never heard of personal space? The government say retreat, and the guide for social distancing says half a dozen feet. I understand you like to follow me. I'm an interesting bloke, but let's set a few conditions so you don't become a yoke around me neck, a weight upon me shoulders, always dragging me down. If you're gonna stalk me, stalk from a distance, like the other side of town. Get out of me face! And as far as I can reach from any one place. Have you never heard of personal space? The government says retreat, and the guide for social distances says half a dozen feet. Although I can't control your movements in an open public place, and you have the freedom to roam wherever you choose at your own unfettered pace. I do have the right to a little privacy. It's a courtesy, if not a law. That's why I've got blackout curtains and a bolt on the back of me door. Get out of me face! And as far as I can reach from any one place. Have you never heard of personal space? The government say retreat, and the guide for social distances said half a dozen feet. And while it's flattering to know you want to be that close to me, or that you study me academically for a new biography, and that you're the president of me fan club and you're working on my behalf, do you think you might fuck off if I were to give you my autograph? Get out of me face! But as far as I can reach from any one place. Have you never heard of personal space? Boris says retreat, and his guide for social distances says half a dozen feet. Get out of me face!
Fuck off!
As far as I can reach from any one place.
Fuck off!
Have you never heard of personal space? The government say retreat, and the guide for social distances says half a dozen feet. Fuck off!
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the two and only, the anti-poet. The anti-poet. That was good, wasn't it? Bit of poetry, bit of music, all mixed in together. And now Dickie, I'm gonna do some more jokes now. Dickie, I used to go out with an agoraphobic.
Did ya?
Well, I went out. I used to go out with a cleaning lady.
Did ya?
Yeah, we had to go out. The fucking flat was filthy.
I used to go out with a cobbler.
Did ya?
Yeah.
That's a load of old bollocks, isn't it?
Yeah, he gave me the boot.
Did he? Oh, he obviously got no soul. What a heel.
Yeah, I did talk a shine to him at the first.
Did you? Oh, but he polished you off in the end, didn't he? Did he lace your drink?
Yeah, he likes to drink, yeah.
Oh, I bet he was a bit of a stud. My granddad was a cobbler, and when I was a kid, he made me a pair of boots. And it was very important, if you had these boots, they had to have metal studs on them, you see. And but one day I upset him, and he kicked me up the arse. And because I had metal studs on my boots, I skated out out of the shop into the fucking pavement because of the metal studs. There's a fascinating story, isn't
Oh,
it?
it's a fascinating story. We are
It's a
doing retro
fascinating
tonight.
story. Yeah. Anyway, this cleaning lady, she kicked the bucket last week.
Oh, what happened?
It was all over in a flash. Fucking hell. Well, she treated me like shit anyway. She kept trying to flush me down the toilet.
Oh,
But it was all right because eventually I was seduced by a 100-year-old prostitute.
well, that's nice.
Yeah, I fell for the oldest trick in the book. So, that's for you. That's for you, Dickie. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your headline act of the evening, the one and only brilliant Andrew O'Neill.
Yay! The cry goes up. Dog sharpener. The old man wheeling his clanking, mournful machine. Dog sharpener, beagles, bassets, whippets, or danes, better with a sharp edge or tapered to a point. Dog sharpener. A feminine voice. Do you do cats? Sorry, love, only dogs. Dog sharpener. Oh, go on, you can do a little cat. Look, sorry, love, there's a queue forming. I've got to do the dog people. The cat bloke comes round next week. Dog sharpener. Now a man's voice. How much for a terrier, mate? Which end? Oh, both ends. £5. Dog sharpener. Yeah, if you could do a terrier, you could do a little cat. Look, fuck off, love. You know as well as I know, if I do a cat, I'll get kicked out of the guild. The cat bloke comes round next week. Dog sharpener. And then the process begins. The whirring, the clanking, the sparking, and the whimpering. Here you go, mate. Careful of that. That's razor sharp, that is. Dog sharpener. Now, there are a lot of questions, aren't there, Pete? The first question, of course, is, do the dogs enjoy it? No, they die. So, good evening. Apparently, the only live act apart from Brian and Krysstal here. It is currently 21:17 hours on Wednesday the 10th. I'm really here in real life. I may make mistakes, and that will prove that to you. Now, only the crumbiest, flakiest foghorn tastes like foghorn, never tasted before. Cadbury's Foghorn, the most delicious path towards maritime safety. Now, I'm a big fan of foghorns, big fan of the name of the foghorn. It's good, isn't it? Foghorn. It's like a mist fetish. Foghorn. I like foghorns. I like the structure. I like to look at them. I like to look at where they are on maps and go and see them. The other reason I like foghorns it's because I was once queuing up to a summer music festival, if you remember those, and I was going through the snaking queuing system. Maybe there were 200, 300, 400 people, maybe 800 people on the way into the summer music festival. Everyone's excited, and it's glorious sunshine, and people are taking all of their drugs because they see that there's a security check ahead. And a woman next to the snaking queuing system going into the summer music festival, wearing a high visibility vest thing and sort of security stuff. She was endeavouring to get the attention of the 800 punters in the snaking queuing system, and she said, "Ladies and gentlemen." Right, and maybe 3 people next to her paid any attention, but the rest of the snaking queuing system very much already, as far as they were concerned, in the music festival, right, having a party. She's going, "Ladies and gentlemen, I just need it," right, getting nowhere. And then she turned to a colleague and she said, "I need a foghorn." Now, she didn't, did she? She didn't need a foghorn. If she'd had a foghorn, what would have happened was she'd have gone, "Boo! Boo!" And then 800 people would have turned around, and then she'd have gone, wasted all money on that foghorn. So those are the reasons why I like the word foghorn. So right, I'm now going to do a thing using my setup here, which is, and I'm going to put my headphones on so I can hear what I'm doing. And it goes a little bit like. Because look, it's live. Yeah. Pings are cheap, Mick. 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 New songs, get 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 new cheap, make new songs, cheap, get new songs. That can't be the joke. Right. I was for the people who aren't aware of the history of British London-based open spot comedy. I was Ivan's Comedy Gaff. I was there. I was channeling Ivan from that's not a joke. Who apparently is still alive against all the odds. So right. Talking about how looping songs are a cheap gimmick. One for sorrow, two for joy, three for a girl and four for a boy, 5 for silver, 6 for gold, 7 for a secret never to be told. Eight for you'll meet Anton Deck, 9 for a really disappointing cake, 10 for become obsessed with Yuri Gagarin, 23 binge watch keeping us, 24 the new mascot for Chessington World Adventures looks disconcertingly like you, 25 go on Dragon's Den with the idea of a drive through Harrods, 26 get drunk with Rod Stewart. xxxx form an Iron Maiden covers band. 667 go on Dragon's Den with the idea of Dragon's Den. 668 a blow to the head means that you can only communicate using dialogue spoken by Danny DeVito in the film Twins. 996. Fuck me, that's a lot of magpies. 997. Get shat on by a magpie. 998. Seriously, this is Hitchcock as fuck. I've never quite seen as many birds in one thing. 999. Have all your shiny things stolen by a magpie. 999.5. Go on Dragon's Den and come up with some sort of idea to get rid of magpies. $1,000. You have crossed the veil. You are now a magpie. Avatar of misfortune, focus of folk dread. You look around you, and you see humans. How many humans? And what does that signify? 1 for shiny things, 2 for shiny things, 3 for shiny things, 4 get the shiny things, 5 for shiny things, 6 for shiny things, 7 for shiny things. You are a magpie. Flicker of your former human self, shadow puppets across your mind's eye. In your dreams, you have full language use, the use of 2 legs and the ability to drive a car. But when you awake, you are still magpie. You look around you and the humans have gone. In their place, magpies. 5 magpies on little magpie chairs with little magpie tables with little magpie piles of shiny things. There's a camera operator magpie, a sound recording. You're on clearly some sort of magpie TV show. It's Magpie Dragon's Den. But what do the magpies want from you? What can you possibly give to magpies that they will give up their own shiny things? 1 for shiny things, 2 for shiny things, 3 for shiny things, 4 get the shiny things, 5 for shiny things, 6 for shiny things, 7 for shiny things. You are a magpie. 1 for shiny things, 2 for shiny things, 3 for shiny things, 4 get the shiny things, 5 for shiny things, 6 for shiny things, 7 for shiny things. You are a magpie. You are a magpie. You are a magpie. You are a magpie! You are a magpie! You are a magpie! I'm Andrew O'Neill. Good night.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the incredible Andrew O'Neill. Wow. Andrew O'Neill, fantastic, brilliant. Oh. Wow. I don't know about you, Al. I'm worn out.
God, yeah.
That was fucking good, wasn't it?
That was very good, yeah.
That was like 3 Glastonbury's all in one.
Yeah.
Right. You know what we need now? We need something relaxing now after, I reckon, another 2 minutes of pattern math.
Yeah.
Mins.
2 mins. Sorry,
Mins,
mins.
yeah.
Mins. Yeah, not minutes.
Bring us down, yeah.
Yeah, just
chill a bit, yeah.
And somebody's trying to get in or out or something.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah.
Catherine, hello. And a big shout out to all the mules and donkeys shake here. And welcome to another 2 mins of Pat and Math.
Yeah, so today, we're going to ask, what 2 items would you take with you to a deserted island? A desert island, if you will.
I will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will. You're asking me first, are you, Catherine?
Well, yeah, I did ask you.
Yeah, surprisingly unselfish of you. Thank you.
No
I think I would take the complete works of Shakespeare.
Cool, yeah.
And an owl.
Oh, so you could eat it?
No. The thinking would be, obviously I've got Shakespeare. That's food enough for my soul. And I could read it and I could act it out. And if ever I got bored, I could kill the owl.
And eat it?
Nope.
What? So you...
Kill it.
But why?
It's a laugh.
Right.
What would you take then? Miss RSPC?
I will probably take an ice cream parlour.
Yeah.
Because that's food and water in it.
Yeah.
In one. And I'll probably take a speedboat for when I've had enough, so I can just go home.
Okay. I'm not sure you fully understood the game.
I think I've won the game, Sean.
Yeah.
At least I ain't got a rotting owl. Mm?
What's wrong with a rotten owl?
What'd you do with it?
Watch it.
Oh, God, that's awful. And on that, speak to you again.
Yeah. Owl will be going.
I say potato and I say potato. I say tomato and I say tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. That's saved a lot of trouble.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been watching Pear Shaped in Dystopia. No, don't play at the same time as me, Al, it doesn't work. Shut up! Pear Shaped in Dystopia, you have been watching, thank you. And the very first act, what you saw was... Robert White!
Robert White.
Hello, Robert White.
First and last.
What?
First and last.
First and last, yes. And he was followed by, funny enough, Mr. Miller, who couldn't be here this evening, but he did send a message, the Talking Curtains message. Pardon me. And he was followed by...
Dickie Richards!
Dickie Richards! Woo, 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 woo. Dickie!
Hey!
Where are you?
I'm over here, look. Here, look.
Hello, Dickie!
All right, Brian.
Sorry about having a go at you for telling jokes and that, you know.
I couldn't hear it, Brian. I had you on mute.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Okay, so you've got no idea what I said. Oh, that's,
no, I heard you really. I'm just trying to hide my pain.
Okay. As long as you're in pain, then you can blend in with the rest of us. We're all suffering. We're all in this shit together, as Boris said. I keep quoting him. You know, we're all in this shit together. He was, but he does it in a different accent. Excrement. And that sort of thing. So, Dickie, who was next? Who was after you? Have you got any idea?
David Mulholland.
It was David Mulholland. Woo, 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 woo. Hello, David. You're still here?
Hello.
He saw, he conquered, and he didn't bother telling fucking jokes, Dickie. So that's all right, isn't it?
I told 10 jokes.
No, you didn't. No, that was politics. There's nothing funny about politics. Nothing funny whatsoever. But I think you raised the tone of the evening. Dickie brought it down. You brought it back up. Don't you think so, Dickie? See, he doesn't even. He's gone now. Look, somebody's upset him. So don't worry, he'll be back in a minute. He's insatiable, not unsociable.
There he is.
Here he is. I told you. See, he's so predictable. I was just saying, Dickie, you're predictable, aren't you? See?
What's that? What?
I knew you were.
I'm predictable. You knew I was going to say that, didn't you?
Have you frozen, or are you just being difficult? You're frozen, haven't you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you did, I might have frozen,
Why
actually,
don't you
yeah.
move into an
Sorry.
area that's got proper Wi-Fi? Somewhere like David is. David lives in a place that's got proper fucking Wi-Fi. But he doesn't live in a poor area. Do you, David?
Yeah.
See, he's gone deaf now because his fucking Wi-Fi's gone. All right. So that was David, and then after that we had Al Mandolino. Al.
Yeah.
You played a bit of live stuff, didn't you? Yeah. See, without you, Al, Pear Shaped wouldn't be Pear Shaped.
Glue. It's all together, isn't it?
You are the glue. You are the glue. that holds this whole
the vibe
thing together. Yeah. Dickie's gone again.
Yep.
Where Dickie's gone again?
He's gone. He's disappeared.
Has he? All right. So then we got round to our Mandolino, and then we had 2 minutes of Pat and Math. They've never been here live. I don't. 2 mins, yeah, they've never been here live. They just do these little short clips, and they can't be bothered showing up. So fuck them. That's what I say. But I do appreciate everything they've done. So even if I appreciate the fact that they can't fucking be bothered showing up. So that's all right. And then Mr. Miller, see, he bothered to show up, even though he's got a job, you see. So he's got a life, but he still went to the trouble of getting his iPhone out and photographing his computer statistics. So I appreciate that.
And he led into
Lady
Harriet.
Lady Harriet, ladies and gentlemen, Lady Harriet. Where are you, Harriet?
I'm here, paupers.
Hello, darling. Hello. Marvellous. I'm so glad you
All you
came
poor
along.
people.
Yes.
Raise the tone of the place.
Harriet's the only one with decent Wi-Fi, apart from David. So the rest of us are suffering and dropping out. I remember when people who dropped out were people who went to university, but now everybody is.
Hi, Harriet.
How are you?
Very good, thank
Hello,
you.
Dickie.
Yes, very
Jolly
good.
good.
Loved it. Loved the Lady Harriet. I haven't
was a
seen that
bit
for
flat.
years. I haven't
I
seen
think
it
It was really good, Harriet.
Well, I think it could be a bit more stand up here. I couldn't remember it all.
No, don't change it. I haven't seen it for about 100 years. I was howling. It's brilliant.
I think I'd seen too many Alan Bennett episodes.
Right, anyway, I'm glad you two are getting on so well, but I'm trying to finish the roll call here.
We hate each other.
Oh, bloody hell, Brian. Get on with it, Brian. For God's sake, there's people waiting.
I'm working on it, and after you lot, all your comedy and jokes and politics and talking to poor people, we had the anti-poet. Fuck me, poetry and music. What more can you ask for?
Brilliant.
Very good.
Aren't they fantastic? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
And at that point, Andrew is thinking, fuck me, I was supposed to be on 5 minutes ago. But we knew that Andrew he lives in a poor area as well. We knew he was waiting for his internet to sort itself out so that it could do looping and shit. So, ladies and gentlemen, Andrew O'Neill. Andrew O'Neill. That was fantastic.
Young people.
Yeah. Oh, look, young people. Yeah, that's great. No, that's the type of stuff you should be doing, Andrew. You're wasting your time on all that rock music.
The metal headliner.
Yeah. A nice bit of, a bit of that, and straight away people are in.
It's I mean, you taught me from when I was a fetus of an act how to be showbiz, and it is. And all of a sudden, I mean, we're just in our homes, aren't we? Which, but people watching might think it's Las Vegas or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, just
yeah. As soon as I hear that, I'm expecting Johnny Cash to walk onto the stage at any moment and go.
Johnny Cash, like giving a piggyback to Elvis.
Mm. Yeah. Well, Elvis needed piggyback with all those.
Towards you. I don't think Johnny Cash could have given Elvis a piggyback because Johnny Cash was very thin, wasn't he? Because of amphetamine use.
Yeah, long and lean.
Their strength to weight ratios really crossed over in that lane.
Yeah, I suppose it depends when. Depends when they met.
Young Johnny Cash and a young Elvis, you're fine.
You'd be good, yeah.
Late period Johnny Cash to mid-period. I mean, they're not
forget it.
nothing,
Yeah.
So when Johnny Cash was going on about walking the line, you reckon he was on about coke?
No, amphetamines.
That would be a fucking long line, wouldn't it?
Why would you walk on your amphetamines?
You'd snort it, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Quickly,
Be on your hands and knees. Your nose on the ground.
Doggy
Kicking
style.
shit.
Not many people know that Johnny Cash had mucous membranes on the bottom of his feet. He could actually absorb drugs through the soles of his feet.
I keep a close watch on my mucous membranes.
I saw the mucous membranes at the Bull and Gate in 1996.
Yeah, isn't that a good name? That's a good name for a band.
Yeah, mucous membrane.
I like that.
Didn't they change their name to the Crickets and support Buddy Holly after that?
No, that would have been a backward step. The mucous membranes would have been forward-looking, looking forward to the punk era.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Yeah. So, but where are we? I haven't finished the roll call yet. I'm very nearly finished, and then we can just sort of relax and have a chat. Last week we tried to have a chat, and we couldn't think of anything to talk about, so we just sort of sat there. It was like a really awkward green room, so there wasn't anything to talk about. And
That was a good show, lad.
Haven't really done anything, I suppose.
Pear Shaped never had a green room. It had a
I
toilet.
know. It had a brown room. You could smell it. It was next door. Right, now, hang on. Where have I got to? I've got to Andrew, the fabulous Andrew O'Neill. Another 2 minutes of pattern math. They've already had a round of applause. And Robert White, he's already had a round of applause. So that's it, really. So we just
Did you say it's in Dystopia?
Yeah, that's right.
Where the hell is Dystopia?
Well,
I know where Fitzrovia is.
Yes, we all know that.
There used to be a comedy club there called Pear Shaped in Fitzrovia.
Yes. Well, if you'd let me get a word in edgewise.
Pear Shaped is just a favour to come in, and we hope that you'll be coming back again to Pear Shaped in Dystopia every Wednesday night at 8:30. Every Wednesday night at 8:30.
What an enduring image that last one was.
Yeah, it was. I was thinking with mucous membrane, you could change that to mucous membrane.
Brian and Krysstal have gone.
Oh.
I'm here.
I
here,
have
it's
a
just Brian's
question.
gone
How is
for a
everyone
pee.
else's sound?
I haven't been able to listen because our dual connector for the headphones stopped working. So only Brian had headphones. So I've been only able to hear a little bit through the edge of his headphones all night. I've got no idea
Just
what
the
happened.
periphery of the sound.
Just the peripheral sound. Yeah, I could hear what something was going on, but I've no idea what. So
Because I got
we all did very
sound
well.
cutting out every couple seconds. Get like 3-4 seconds of sound, then a second of silence.
Oh well, we've just done a whole show like that. So
Oh, like what?
Yeah.
I mean, I watched it. I watched it on my.
I don't know.
I watched it on my
We're all
phone.
on- It's because we're all broadcasting.
All right.
Whereas if you only have 1 or 2 people in the broadcast room, it's better.
Yeah.
I watched it on my phone and it was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I could hear everybody and it wasn't a problem.
Right.
Well, funny enough, our very first one, we dropped out, and I discovered after the second one, after 2 episodes of extreme embarrassment, that the show just continues. So if we drop out,
right,
and it all goes nuts, it still just continues until it decides to end. Whereas
what was the fun bit, Brian? Did you have the email address or something swapped round, so you had all the performers in the audience and the audience in the performers bit? So,
that's it.
Brilliant.
I sent out the wrong.
It's the only way to do a show.
That's absolutely
amazing. This bit that you're in now was full of audience, and we're chucking them out. I'm trying to get
So
back
you have,
in. She's trying to chuck them out.
And they keep coming, putting themselves back in again.
And my mate Dave, he said I'm sitting there, and he said I thought, fuck me, I'm in the green room, and he thought maybe they're going to put me on. What am I going to say? And he's never done any comedy. It fucking scared him.
Brilliant.
So you've all been wonderful. This is so traumatic, but when I think of it, it takes me all it takes me all week to prepare it, and then it takes me all week to get over it. And but then when I think about it, with all the shit that's going on at the moment, at least it makes me blood boil.
Yes.
I'm going.
It's true. At least there's like
I'm not thinking, oh, we're all going to die. Huh?
It's true. You need that like peak experience in your week. You know,
Yes.
we're so starved of adrenaline and all that stuff that just having something, it does. You know, it's like methadone, isn't it? It's comedy methadone.
I'll tell you what,
That's a great way of putting it.
That's very good.
I'll tell you what I do like. What I really enjoy is this end bit now, where we just have a chat. We go, right, we've done that.
Hanging out with comics. I mean, God,
because ever since the internet came along, we don't talk to each other anymore.
No,
I used to spend hours on the phone before the internet.
Yeah.
Hours on the phone, and I had people phone me up. Used to phone me up at midnight. Oh, I did a gig tonight. I was fucking and I'm going, you're funny. You are funny. Don't worry what the audience. You are fucking funny. And,
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Keep going. And same thing next weekend.
You've got a lot to answer for, Brian.
Yeah.
I know. Well, I thought when I was doing that.
Leave you. They're still there.
I found I'm actually quite good at giving advice, but while I'm giving it, I'm thinking, fuck me, I should do that. I'm giving advice that I don't follow. If you see what I mean.
Everyone does that though. Everyone does. Everyone occasionally needs to just take stock of what they would tell a mate in their own situation. I mean, I have Will Hodgson about once in 12 months. Will Hodgson messages me. He tells me, "Oh, I'm thinking of giving up comedy," and I go, "Don't, because you're brilliant." He goes, "No, I'm not getting any gigs." And I go, "All right, well,
no one is at the moment, surely."
Well, this is discounting the current 12-month the current pandemic thing. But Will will go, I'm thinking of giving up comedy. Why? Well, I'm not getting any gigs. Well, how are you going about getting them? Well, I just email people and I don't hear back. I go, well, you've got everyone's number, ring them. Oh, but they don't want to hear from me. Well, right, okay. Here we go. So I'll coach him how to get gigs, and then I'll sit down and go, yeah, I could do that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then he's getting all the gigs and you're going like, bloody hell, he's getting all the gigs and I'm not. What's going on?
I mean, happily Will isn't,
Happily. Yes. Well, yeah. It's from the heart, this. It's from the heart.
You were... Andrew, you were talking about Ivan a little while ago, and Ivan said, he said I got an important gig coming up at Jongleurs, important gig, and he said the only thing is, he said I'm really worried. He said because the big football matches, the final is on, I'm really worried in case anybody tells me what the fucking score is. I said, well, why don't you go on? Why don't you go on with toilet paper sticking out your ears? Tell me this. And he phoned me back after. He said, "You cunt." He said, "I want a fucking toilet paper sticking out my ears." He said, "I went down like a bag of shit." And he said, "It's all your fault." And at the time, they were thinking of signing him up.
What's happened to Ivan? Is he doing comedy again?
No, no, not really. He was in touch a while ago, and he wanted to know if I wanted to do a live gig with him, but I said no. He wanted to do it with a. No, I can't name people. Some cunt who runs a pub, and
PJ.
I said, no,
not PJ.
No, I can't say who it was, but it was. Someone who runs a pub. I said no. I've been to see that fucker, and all he's worried about is drinks and seats and shit like that. So I said I have no interest. No interest in dealing with.
Bessemer.
I've no interest in dealing with what a pub governor wants. I don't give a fuck what they want. So it's sort of you know, saying comedy thing. But they say, oh, some bloke came up and asked me for a glass of water. I said, well, he's a fucking comedian. He's trying to stay sober to do his bit, you know. And I can't be bothered explaining it to them, you see. So, and I don't care what they want.
So when was that Ivan was asking you about a live thing? How long
This
ago
was
that?
only a few months ago.
Right.
Might have been 6 months ago. But I did send him a message and ask him if he wanted to come and do this. And I've had no reply. So he's either dead or he doesn't want to do it.
You're always very wise.
Yeah. There's always another angle.
He could be dead. He could be dead and also doesn't. Want to do
I do want Ivan and I want Jimbo. I want Jimbo to come and do it.
Oh, yeah.
I'd watch that.
So I want anybody who's done Pear Shaped and they know what it was, and they'll be used to working to fucking nobody. They'll be.
You didn't have no. You had 8 people watching today. That wasn't nobody.
I know that more people have seen these in the last 6 episodes than they have in the last 6 years when it was running.
Are you consider when all this is over? Would you consider finding a venue and doing Pear Shaped for real again?
No, not unless there was a really nice governor. You know, the reason we stayed at the Fitzroy was the governor was fantastic. You know, he would have a pub full upstairs with nowhere to sit. People are out in the street, and you come down to our little room. There's fucking nobody in. There's loads of room to sit, and he never gave us any problems about that. So it only lasted because of him.
Yeah.
He left us alone, and he kept promising to come down and watch a show one night. He only ever managed to watch a half a show in 15 years. So I said I'm going to invite him on here one night, and we'll interview him.
Oh, wow.
Great. Yeah, brilliant.
And so he was a nice man, really nice. So that makes a difference. Other than that, I can't be bothered. But I sort of got a feeling that this might work in a weird way. And somebody said, but you're not going to make any money. I said, look, if we wanted to make money, we would have thought of a better name for the fucking club.
Yeah.
If it was for money, you know. So we're
Speaking of which, we've had 2 donations already.
Have we?
Really?
So you can donate live or later. Doesn't matter. If you're watching the repeat, doesn't matter.
And yeah, you've ruined it now. I was enjoying this till you mentioned money. You keep going on.
I'm happy to talk about money.
Is the money rolling in there? Is it cascading in now? Is it starting to? We've got a head of steam.
Both coins are rolling.
Both coins are in. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Although one of them's got 5 edges.
Is that a frupney bit, Brian?
It's probably collectible now.
Look, it's frupney bit.
Frupney bit.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm sort of, and the other thing is I won't ask anyone to do this. They can do it if they want. So, because I'm not going to convince them it's a good idea or anything. Just fucking come along and do it, and hopefully have some fun. I like fun. I like a bit of fun, don't I?
With Paolo Ferrari. I hope
I
he'll
like
do it.
Paolo.
Yeah. I know Paolo. I'll get in touch with Paolo. Yeah.
All right.
I think he's built for it.
Yeah. So we're what? It's gone quiet, hasn't it?
I'm going to end the broadcast.
Are you speaking?
I'm going to end the broadcast in a few
You're gonna do what?
All right.
In a few seconds, I'm going to
I
end.
can't hear you. I've got my headphones on.
I'm going to end the broadcast.
Oh.
What a shame!
Stay
What a shame for the general public.
Yeah.
We're going to be very disappointed.
We're going to carry on, but they won't be privy
Hang
to
on a
it.
minute.
It's going to be great.
We've got comments.
Oh.
Yeah. One of them said, "What's this fucking load of rubbish?" Yeah. Huh? Yeah.
Who said it, Brian? Who said it? Spill the beans.
Well, somebody said the music is improving at these gigs. Why would you want to come to these gigs for the music? Jolly Jeff said, "Brilliant, Andrew. Always good to see you." Yeah.
Who's he talking about?
Andrew. There's only one Andrew here. The funny one at the end.
Yeah. What's that? Brody likes it. Brody likes it.
Brody likes it. Brody, yeah.
Somebody sharpening your dog.
Yeah. Come here.
Oh, fucking hell.
And Pauline Curtin. Pauline Curtin. Do you remember Pauline? She's from Dublin. Great to see you again. Wonderful, guys. Pauline. Life is officially fine. Yes, and Jolly Jeff says it's a lovely show. And Brian Damage said, thanks. That's it. Pear Shaped and Dystopia. What does that say at the bottom? Whoops. Periscope didn't get your comment. What comment? It was probably filtered. All right. It's something that looks like spam. All right, we're going to go because I can feel it. And
well, I can end the broadcast. You can carry on chatting, but I'm going to end the broadcast.
All right, yeah.
Cheers to everyone in the general public.
To all the public.
Cheers to everyone.
Stay in the green
room.
Thank you so much.
Nice to
Cheers,
see
everyone.
you all.
Stayed around.
Yes.
Nice to see you, Dickie.
You know what? I thought they'd.